Everybody has an opinion.
No, I don't think so.
I employ that bloke for when gigs are going badly.
Incredibly rock and roll.
How would you put that?
Be more entertaining. I'm glad you like that. I just did a little bit of weed.
Hey, there it is.
Hello.
Welcome back, guys, to This Week in Comedy, where we'll keep you across what's happening on stage, on your screens, and behind the scenes.
Did AI write that?
No, that was all me. I write 99.8% of my own material.
Okay, including that little excuse.
No, I got AI to write that one.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, the prompt was, I need an excuse when people question me and make sure that it dodges Maury's cynicism.
Yeah, it's done very well. So I believe it hasn't been that busy, but the robots are taking over.
The robots are taking over, so it's a bit of a quiet time with comedy news. We've had the announcement of comedy festivals early, their first round of shows lineup, which everyone's really keen about. Mm-hmm. We've got Raw.
And when you say comedy festival, you mean the Melbourne International
As a Melburnian, yes, I've been
Festival.
conditioned to, that isn't the only comedy in Melbourne. But
as we learnt, there's one, as we will learn, there's one in Geelong.
There is a festival in Geelong. So no, the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. But yeah, so AI, researchers in Melbourne here again are working out whether robots can learn to be funny. So do you think they can ever learn to be funny?
I know some comedians who are like robots.
But they're not very funny.
They're robotic. They're very robotic. Introverted, one would add.
So maybe when all the robots are going to comedy clubs eventually, which is the way it's going, they can all line up to see name redacted.
Well, they're the only ones with money.
Correct. Well, this is being led by Robert Walton at the University of Melbourne. They're pretty funded. It's not huge, but they've got $500,000.
$500,000.
Yep, from the government, from the Australian Research Council.
I just want to add, the government will give money to anything except comedians, and now this is robot comedians.
Yeah, right. It's like men will do anything except get therapy.
Yeah.
Governments will do anything except sponsor an actual comedian.
And on that, for the patriarchy, I'll just say, and women will do anything but weights. Right, that's the other one. But anyways,
sure. Equality. We're all about
half
that.
Half
Yeah.
listenership is just turned off. All right. And they're back.
And here they are.
Yeah.
So, yeah, look, it's going to be using a test swarm, they're calling it, of about 10 non-humanoid robots. I don't know what that looks like.
Daleks? Are these?
Yeah. So does that mean it's wheel-up comedy?
Yeah, well, we know they can't get upstairs.
Yeah. Okay, well, so the stages would have to be all accessible. But what I find interesting is their sizes are ranging from 40 centimetres to 2 metres high. Now, I think that's terrifying.
2 meters.
That's a tall robotic non-humanoid comedian.
There's only one comedian of that height. That's Lewis Spears. He's about 2 meters.
It's just Lewis Spears in tinfoil.
Yeah, or maybe taller, but
yeah. So look, it's not going to be verbal comedy. Apparently, it's sort of non-verbal comedy, like timing, physical movement. Sort of slapsticky, and whether the robots can read the audience cues, which is interesting, I guess. Again, for the 2 meter robot, I think the only cue I'd be giving would be abject fear, no matter what it's doing.
So non-verbal comedy.
Correct. So a lot of slapstick, hopefully not directed at the audience.
Whoa. So the whole
beep, boop, beep, boop, boop.
Right. Yeah. All right.
Which begs the question, are they going to have arms, like limbs? If they're non-humanoid, how are they going to do slapstick? It's definitely one to watch. Very interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's one to watch. So that's technology. Anything but actually give money to comedians.
100%.
Yeah. We need the big gig and Hey and Rove and Full Frontal and Frontline.
Correct. Unless the view one day is to have robot comedians for a robot audience, which is sort of terrifying, but maybe that's going to be a whole thing one day, robot comedy clubs. And
that's right. What will they be drinking? Will they be drinking this beer? This is our sponsor for this episode, Oishi
Dry.
That is actually us being appropriate because that is the name of this beer.
Yes.
And it is, importantly, quite different because it is rice lager.
And the caption says almost too dry.
Well, I'm going to have my first sip right now. Right. Yep, tastes like beer.
Tastes like beer. It tastes like if the Starfleet food replicators made a beer. It's beer-ish.
That's a Star Trek reference.
That's a reference for all the nerds out there.
Okay. I'm a big fan of Japanese style beer, which is becoming popular in the bottle shops.
Yeah, sure. Thirsty
around.
Camel, BYS.
Exactly. It sounds a lot like I've drank a lot of these today, but this is the first sip. And I noticed that a lot of the Aussie brands are coming out with Japanese flavour or Japanese
styles.
So it's very much on that a little bit sweeter.
It's very on trend. Yeah. What's the is that a lemon or a mango on the?
I don't know, but it's quite a good one. And I'll just add, if you have a beer out there that you would like to be tested on This Week in Comedy, well, you know where to reach out to.
Reach out to us. We'd love to sip upon your lager. All right, moving on. You spoke recently to our Tight Five with guest this week, Blaze White.
Yeah, he did. And now, so a moment ago you mentioned that the comedy festival, but forgot to say Melbourne Comedy Festival. There is a couple of comedy festivals in Victoria, the state that encapsulates Melbourne, and Geelong. Geelong's the second biggest city. This is for those people who may not be familiar with Australia. And Geelong is the second biggest city, and it could have been bigger, by the way. I don't know if you know this, but
no, I don't.
Geelong could have been bigger than Melbourne. Apparently, it's all based on lies. Have you ever heard the podcast Fool Me Twice?
Oh, I have indeed.
I'll have to get them to talk about it, but they lied on the map. So when the boats came in, the tall ships came in from probably South Africa, down the coast through Perth, along the coast through Warrnambool, and then the first place at the bottom of the bay, Port Phillip Bay, would have been Geelong. They could have got off there to go to the gold mines, but the maps suggested that it was closer to travel from Melbourne.
So maps have always been leading us astray. It's not just Google Maps now. Back in the day, they also had the bad directions.
Oh, well, Melburnians were probably, thieves from England, and the Melburnians were thieves from Geelong.
There it is.
There we go.
Great promo, great lead-in for Geelong there. It is a beautiful, beautiful town.
Sorry, Geelong. Yes, but I did have a great chat with Blaze White, and he and his partner do the third. This was the third.
Yes, this was the third Geelong Comedy Festival. I have been at the last two as a volunteer. Fantastic, just a bunch of venues all around, from the Arts Centre to tinier, smaller venues, putting on a bunch of different shows for, I think it's over a course of 2 weeks, a week and a half. And it's just great seeing everyone from Melbourne come in. Great vibe.
Yeah. Well, let's have a listen right now to the interview I did with Blaze. Well, good afternoon. Blaze White, all the way, I believe, not in Geelong, you're in Brunswick.
I am currently in Brunswick now. Excuse a bit of a noise. We're just about to get back up on stage, but it's lovely to have a chat to you, Murray. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, fantastic. Well, you're well known amongst us Victorians, and hopefully later on the rest of Australia, because you are doing an amazing job down in Geelong. You've got the Geelong Comedy Festival. Now, is it right? 3rd year in a row?
It is the 3rd year in a row, so we're really excited. We're already gearing up for year 4 next year, so
amazing.
Really exciting.
I think it's an amazing achievement, and also perfectly poised between, is it the Melbourne Comedy? Well, sorry, it's the 30th of October, so it doesn't even have to compete against Victorian shows.
It's after the Fringe. It's also after Bendigo Comedy Festival now, which is good to have other little regional festivals. So, no, it was just part of the plan to continue building that touring circuit around Australia.
Perfect. And this year it was the 30th of October to the 2nd of November. Similar next year as well, or is it?
It will be every end of October next year. The dates will be locked in February, but it will stay around the same time.
Around the same time.
Yeah,
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that kind of setup. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now, I know you had some amazing venues. About 12 venues collaborated with you in the Geelong Comedy Festival, and one of them was the Geelong Jail.
That was. It was an amazing venue underneath the old gallows. It was a functioning jail up into the mid-90s.
Yes. So no one died in a place that people died?
No one, we had good shows, which was good. We had a special Halloween show, as well as some true crime stories and whatnot. So it was a real fitting vibe.
I did see Ro Campbell up in a couple of photos. Was that part of the true crime?
Yeah. So Ro Campbell and Shane Hunter had a show about true crime in Australia, including some stories that happened in the very jail they were doing the show in. So that was a really cool experience for the audience to come check some comedy out at a venue you wouldn't normally think of comedy in.
No, not at all. Ro Campbell is an amazing comedian, a fantastic, like an MC and a headliner, but he's got so many stories. So I imagine he had some great stories.
He certainly does. He's a good comic and a smarter mind. He knows how the business works.
He is. He's a very good man. So apart from the jail, there was 12 venues in total.
Yep.
Fantastic. What's some of the
fantastic.
other venues?
We had a range of venues from, we had the Geelong Club, and we had some 50 and 60 seaters in there. We had a 40 seater and a couple of little bars, and then we had the Geelong Arts Centre, which was a 250 seater.
Wow.
So venues all around the place, all of them walking distance from one another, which we found important, so people can check out a couple of shows and explore the city.
Yeah, great. So for next year, how do they reach out if they're a venue and they want to be involved with 2026 Geelong Comedy Festival? How do they do that?
Well, the best way to get in contact with us is via the socials, at Geelong Comedy Festival and everything, or email at info@geelongcomedyfestival.com.au. If you want to be a venue, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
As far as artists, we love more artists being interested to come down. Applications open towards the end of the Melbourne Comedy Festival. So towards the end of April, we'll have artist applications open back up, and we're gearing up for another good year.
Good. All right. Well, that's over for the year, but that's not over for Geelong Comedy, because you do have some pro rooms down in Geelong that, if you're from around Australia, from Melbourne, or even if you're from interstate, there's a couple of rooms I understand. Tyson Popplestone runs a room once a month or something. Is that right?
Yeah. Tyson Popplestone is a fantastic promoter down here, and he has several little rooms, but about once a month he has a pro gig, especially up on the Bellarine Peninsula, which is not only a beautiful location, they get good audience members, but it's a lovely place to get away from. So that's a fantastic pro room. There's Television just starting a new room in Barwon Heads right now. They've brought down some great acts like Richard Stubbs and Limo and whatnot. You have our room, so we a weekly room at the National every Friday night. That is also all professional, as well as Comedy Underground, which is the home of alternative comedy in Geelong. That happens once a month on every first Thursday of the month. So that's coming up next week, as well as open mics. There's plenty to do all year round.
That's great.
Building.
I love the Bellarine Peninsula because it's got amazing town names like Indented Head.
Yeah, that's super strange part of the world up there, but it's very quiet.
Yeah, Queenscliff is the end of the world, really, and then you can see the other side, which is Sorrento, I believe, and there's the ferry that runs between them.
Certainly is.
Well worth a trip. If you want to do a literal lap around the bay, you can do it. Maybe do it after comedy. PJ White, now he's a name I've heard a lot of. Now, he's running some rooms down there. You may have mentioned one of the rooms. What was that one?
He's running Comedy Underground, which is Geelong's only alternative comedy night. So you're weird, you're wacky, you're wonderful, you're clowns, you're characters. So that's been going really fun. He's a brilliant character comedian who's been going really well in the scene lately. The kind of character that's hard to follow. Very loud, very boisterous. If you're a stand-up, you don't want to follow it. He's so much fun. So it's definitely one to keep an eye on. But his rooms are going really well, and opens up a spot for a different type of comedy in a scene. There's more to a comedy than just stand up, and to build a scene, you need bits of everything. So.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So PJ White's someone we should be looking out for. Let's talk about some of the other names from the whole the Bellarine Peninsula, Geelong region, Surf Coast. Who else should we? Is it?
It's been going really well. We've got, as I mentioned, Tyson Popplestone. It's gone really well. It's been out opening for Husey and Limo and Peter Hallier and the big names. So he's been going really well. We've got Stevie Sticks is also a wonderful Geelong comedian. She's been killing it. She sold out at Melbourne Comedy Festival show. Geelong Comedy Festival, there was a waiting list for her. So she's definitely one to check out. We got some new open micers coming up through the open mic scene that are really funny. We're really excited for them to continue working. You get to.
I've heard about. Was it Chris Hubby? Is that right? How do I say?
Chris Hubie.
All right.
Chris Hubie is super funny. It's real dark. Think of like an Anthony Jeselnik. style, real clever, short jokes, and it's been really wonderful watching him find his feet when you are learning, not only learning to do comedy, but learning to dabble in dark jokes and whatnot, and
Yeah.
finding where the line is and still being likable
Yep.
while doing stuff. And he's really starting to pull it all together.
Oh,
So that's
great.
really exciting to see the future of Geelong comedy is in good hands.
Yeah, there was a Ryan and Anastasia, I believe they did well. Was it
Ryan and Anastasia,
Yeah.
absolutely. They're a duo, and they had a show called Ryanthology, which was all about Geelong's newest cult of Ryans. That also had a big waiting list for it. That was his debut solo show, and
great.
from all accounts, it was wall-to-wall laughs. So
Great.
that's really exciting, and hopefully we see him start to take it up to Melbourne Comedy Festival.
Yeah, great. Well, that's fantastic. As Geelong grows, its comedians, it helps everyone, and awesome. We'd love to see more festivals around Victoria, not just Geelong. You said Bendigo, Melbourne, of course. What other festivals are out there in Victoria that we could tap into?
There's not too much more. I don't know if Brimbank is going ahead. We got the St Kilda Comedy Festival as well.
That's good.
So they're all in their first year, Brimbank and St Kilda. So hopefully, fingers crossed, they come back.
That's great.
And go again next year. But I think there should be more independent, smaller festivals that can build up and create a real touring circuit for comedians, so they don't have to leave the country for half a year to make a living.
That's perfect. That's a great idea, and something that I'd like to see. Yeah, having some of the councils, regional towns, and also greater cities of Geelong and greater city of Melbourne taking up Brimbank, of course. Brimbank is it Footscray or North?
Yeah, it's around Footscray area.
Around Footscray, yeah. Taking up that the torch that the Melbourne International Comedy Festival kind of lets go of at the end of April, and then it's like, well, what do we do now? But so you're doing a great job there, Blaze. Thank you very much for your time, and well, mate, thank you for this. Is the whip around on This Week in Comedy. So thanks very much. We'll catch up with you very, very soon.
Thank you very much, Murray. We appreciate it.
Cheers.
There we go. That was Blaze White talking about the Geelong Comedy Festival.
And good luck for next year. I think hopefully this podcast can help spread the word, and we'll get not only more great comedians to go down, which is not far, but we can also get a bigger audience, because I think, as you heard, not enough people know that it exists.
That's right. That's what I love about their tag. Did you know Geelong has a comedy festival? Very clever. And you never know, but you might see potentially a hard knocks course heading for Geelong maybe next year.
Yeah.
It's a definitely interesting town, got some space, got some interest, so potentially.
And full transparency for anyone who doesn't know, this podcast is in some way sponsored by the Hard Knock Knocks Comedy School.
Correct, sure. It's a symbiotic sort of
It is.
relationship. Let's move on.
I don't know this, but you do.
Yes, I don't know if you know this.
I don't know if you know this, kids. Has it ever made
The Laff box.
Laugh, having a laugh.
Having a laugh. Oh, I didn't know Jeff Green was in.
Yeah. Jeff Green, great comedian. He's from Chester, which is halfway up England. I don't think it's quite that accent, but yeah.
No.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jeff Green.
There
I've
it is.
got something to say to you. He's very exasperated, isn't he?
There it is.
I don't know if he'd said laugh, but it does sound very
It
northern
does.
England.
It's spelled Laff, so it may be the laugh box, which makes a lot more sense. But for the purposes of this segment, I'm going to call it the laugh box.
Yes.
Are you having a laugh?
It was invented in the early 1950s by a sound engineer, Charles Douglas, and it became the standard for TV laugh tracks. His device, widely referred to as the laugh box, allowed pre-recorded laughter to be added to television comedies. Now, I've got a picture here, which we will try to put on the website or something so everyone can see. But it's this huge, weird box. It sort of looks like a big organ. It's got buttons and tape loops, and he basically would program in like different types of laughter and then layer them all, which is now what we know as a modern laugh track.
Yep.
Used in many sitcoms, although the 90s, they sort of seem to be moving a bit more away from canned laughter.
Yeah. I admit I grew up on Friends.
Sure.
A lot of laughter in that. Do you know if it was canned or not canned?
It may have been, I thought it might have been canned, but I actually think it was a studio audience.
Right, because it was incredibly annoying. Do you think there was a person at the front that said "laugh" like a sign?
100%. They would have had the warm-up guys on those.
Yeah.
Would have been the worst job. The Big Bang Theory as well.
Yeah, Big Bang. That's
again,
not canned laughter?
No, I mean, personally, I think you'd be a robot to be laughing at those jokes, but no, that's all real reactions.
Right, I haven't watched that show. I'm not planning to watch it. But
Look, it's not. Some people love it. Some people hate it. It's fine. It's a show about nerds. Nerd show.
Nerds.
And the universe? Is that why the Big Bang? No,
Oh,
nothing
God.
to do with that.
That whole intro. Have you heard the intro?
Oh, no, but it sounds quite spectrum-y.
Yes, it is very spectrum-y.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you're a fan or a producer or in any way involved in the Big Bang Theory, we would love to not hear from you. Please do not write in.
Good. And so canned laughter, just for the audiences, just make them aware. Let's listen to it right now. All right, so that's canned
That's
laughter.
great. Yeah, good to hear.
We do not have a live studio audience.
I'm right here. I'm sitting right next to you.
No, but I mean, we could start telling jokes and then add one. That'd actually be funny.
Yeah, there is one other person in this room as we record, but I don't think he can throw his voice.
No, he's bound and gagged in a corner. So.
No, that's right.
Tastes like a pillow.
Yeah.
Quiet you.
Just press the button. Alrighty. Very good. So Douglas, I believe he has 2 S's at the end of his name.
Yeah,
so
always as a dyslexic, that really throws me. But, each to their own.
there can
whatever.
be only one Douglas. So.
Douglas Adams, my favourite.
So he produced. So he was ahead of the game when it came to the robots controlling comedy.
Well, there it is. That was the start. They weren't autonomous back then, but maybe we need to blame Mr. Douglas.
Right. So maybe in the future, a robot presses the button that makes the canned laughter.
Wow, that's super meta. and
big
the
word.
audience that's in there, if they have studio, they're all robots too.
That's right. And you can, maybe I can send my robot to watch a comedy show. And all right. Well, that's
the future, guys.
That is fascinating.
That is horrifying.
Beautiful. Well, moving on, guys. It was a bit hard to find comedy history for this week. We're on December 10 today. But I did find Arrested Development, one of my fapavourite shows. Did you ever watch it?
Yeah, big fan.
Yeah, it aired in Australia on the 25th of November, 2003. Yonks ago. I was 13 when it came out.
I've made a terrible mistake.
I made a huge, tiny mistake.
Yeah.
Job. That's right, yeah. I love that.
He's so good.
Very slapsticky.
Very nonsense in all seriousness.
Yeah, Michael Cera.
Yeah.
That was probably his.
That was his first big role. Yeah,
big role. I know he'd done some other stuff in
He'd
Canada.
done Juno. I think maybe during that time. I think he did, but that was his big breakout role.
I mean, he doesn't play anybody but himself, really, does he?
100%.
He's just himself.
Yeah, but there's always money in the banana stand.
That's right. Yes, I know. Classic lines there with, and that's why you don't put your hand out the window or something. Anyway,
the hook guy. People will know.
Oh yeah, dude. No, I loved that. Grew up on that in my. Would you say 2003?
2003.
Yeah, I
it
guess
came
in
out,
my 20s.
Yeah, you would have been in your 20s. I was 13.
I'm sorry, what?
We were not doing a podcast in 2003.
No.
All right. Yeah, good. Well, that's fascinating. That's a great show. What about who else? Billy?
Yeah, Billy Connolly released his live album in concert in 1978. So bro's been in the game for a very long time.
He's one of the only comedians who can swear like a trooper and old ladies forgive him.
Yeah, just fawn over him. Actually, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got that cheeky sort of, you'd forgive him. You'd forgive him if he sort of slapped your mother,
Yeah. Now, I don't know if it's him or the accent, possibly both. But it is.
Does he have dimples? I think it's anyone who has a cheeky little dimple, I think, can get away with. And his beard.
Yeah, the beard and the grey hair. It always works well with the ladies.
It's a good combo.
I know personally. Now, he would not have competed at Raw Comedy.
No,
but
I don't
I'm using
think
that
so.
as a segue.
What a great segue.
But Raw Comedy is currently accepting applications or
Yes.
nominations.
And for those of you who do not know, Raw Comedy is run by the Melbourne International Comedy Festival.
That's right.
Looking for new, fresh, up and coming talent in the stand up area. So I've done Raw twice. I think you've done Raw
I've
as
done
well,
once.
haven't you?
Yeah, I've done once.
What
yeah.
year did you do it?
Ooh, 2017 maybe? Yeah.
Yep. I did this year and last year.
Yep.
Last year didn't go anywhere. This year I got through to the state semi-finals.
Ooh.
And of course I got knocked out because there was so much talent.
There was a lot of talent.
Unfortunately, there were just too many good people. But our man, Peter Jossop,
Peter.
took it out. Had a great time in Edinburgh. He sort of whipped up a storm over
Yep,
there. I think
yep.
he's back in Australia now, but
Yeah.
definitely someone who's going to be making waves.
That's
for
right. And he's
sure.
got a little posse of like-minded people.
Oh, yeah.
that I think went over as well.
Yep.
and-
You know, there's like Carducci and
Yeah.
all those boys. I love them.
Alessio Carducci, for those who are not as close.
Alessio.
For those who don't know him as the Dooch.
Yeah. A very funny comedian, someone I regularly book for dark comedy. In fact, both of them are very dark comedians.
Yeah, I'd say so. Pete's got one of my favourite jokes that he does is about, he's like, he's Italian and he's Greek. And so he's like, when I'm Italian, when I'm making love to my girlfriend, I feel very Italian, except when I'm making love to my boyfriend, that's when I'm feeling very Greek. It's fantastic. I just love it.
Exactly like that, only better.
Only way better. I know. Hey, Pete, if you're listening,
I think the keystone
apologies.
is boyfriend, not Greek. But
correct. Oh, I mean,
But what's a keystone? Well, you'll have to do the hard knock comedy school.
find out.
Oh, there we go. So raw comedy, that's fascinating. I've got news. So during the Melbourne International Comedy Festival, which runs next year from March 25 through to April 19, that's a Wednesday finishing on a Sunday. Oh, complicated. The last week of the festival, which is the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 16, 17 and 18, I'm involved, and you are too, of course. We're both involved in the Business of Comedy Conference. Yeah.
which is so exciting. First year at the Crown Plaza.
Crown Plaza. Crown with an E, not to be confused with the money laundering business on the other side.
We're
And
not in the business of that.
We can say that because it's in the press, yeah.
That's it. Well, it is. It's gorgeous now,
It is. And
Very
it's right
well
on the river.
appointed.
It is a beautiful, and we'll be downstairs 3 days looking at the true business of comedy and
Yes.
how it brings, well, not just stand-up comedians, but TV, film, radio, animation will be involved, the amazing world of podcasting, and also workshops like the Hard Knock Knocks Comedy School and Improv Pit.
Improv Pit, yep, fantastic.
They'll all be there. We've got some topics, keynote speakers. We're bringing over a fellow by the name of Scott Dickers. Now, he is probably not a household name to us Aussies. However, the newspaper that he created and the brand that has been created ever since, The Onion, is a massive influence on the Australian psyche because Batuta Advocate and prior to that, The Chaser, all these satirical publications and media have probably borrowed a lot of the balls, really.
Heavily inspired.
The Onion. Now, he was, Scott Dickers was one of the original chief editors and founders, and he was the longest serving editor. And I would have to say that probably means a lot because these days, these chief editors probably get sued quite regularly by big name.
They probably have more
wealthy.
people working on in their legal department than they do in their editorial.
That's right. I can, imagine how funny the newspaper would be if they could say what they wanted to say. So Scott Dickers is a comedian as a writer and also as a stand-up. He'll be coming over and he'll be at the Business of Comedy Conference.
Yeah, doing a panel, I imagine.
Many panels. He'll be doing a keynote. We'll be looking at how satire is important to democracy.
That's a great topic.
Yeah, and then some lighter topics about the future of stand-up and maybe whether Melbourne has its own tabernacle of comedy.
Ooh.
Yeah, maybe Melbourne University can invest $500,000 in an actual building instead of a white paper.
I can head it up with a RoboVac or something if that helps them,
Yeah, that's it.
It's a very funny RoboVac, to be fair. You should see it at home.
Yeah, fantastic. All right. Well, RoboVacs can't go upstairs either, so they won't do
Not
stand-up.
yet.
No.
Watch this space. All right, before we go, I just wanted to bring up today is December 10 and it's not a very happy day for anyone under 16.
My son is 16. Doesn't care Because he never got onto social media.
Well, there you go. If you're not on it, you don't know what you're missing out on. My 14-year-old has been woken up to all of her accounts gone. However, my 12-year-old, still has access to everything. And the reason for this is a few days ago, I'd say about a week ago, she just held up her phone to my face and said, "Mum, here," and scanned my face. And so they think that she's an old woman. They think she's 35, so she's got everything. It's very funny.
There might be a spike in nursing home visits over the next couple of days.
All of a sudden people seeing their grandparents. Well, yeah, well, for everyone who's missed out on it, unfortunately they're locked out. But if you had the foresight, like my 12-year-old did, to be an absolute degenerate, look out for her on every app that she's not allowed on.
Right. Except Roblox, which is the whole problem. The whole reason my son's not on any of the social media talking to his friends is because he's talking to pedophiles in America or Iceland on Roblox.
I can't talk. I have been playing Roblox for longer than my children have. But the reason here's the thing. I got onto these platforms when my children were younger, 9, 10, so that they could play on them, but I could actively be there and see what they were doing. But then I got into them more than they did, so I'm now the one playing Roblox.
Right.
Which, yes, you're right. It is mainly pedophiles and not unsavoury people. But then there's people like me who are just sort of turning kids more political, one step at a time. You can leave signs on, graffiti. I just write, jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams, and then leave the game. If I can just turn one kid at a time.
Wow.
This is probably why under 16s have been banned from social media, actually, because I've been interacting with them.
Well, I imagine they're now picking up on podcasts.
Yes, well, maybe this is the new thing they can spend their time doing.
But isn't it, I know my son used to watch people playing computer games, so now they'll watch people listening to podcasts.
Live reactions to podcasts. Well, interesting. It's a whole new world for if you're under 16. There's this thing called the Sky and the Ground. I recommend having a look at those first and just take your time.
Yeah.
You'll be okay, guys.
One foot after the other.
That's it.
Oh, goodness. Well, thank you very much, Lily. This has been great.
Thank you, Maury. It's been This Week in Comedy, guys.
Wow. Canned laughter.
Hey.
Everybody has a
Thank you.
No, I don't think so.
I employ that bloke for when gigs are going bad.
To look incredibly rock and roll.
How would you cook that?
Be more entertaining. I'm glad you like that. It's a little bit of weight.